Hello everyone, Jen Tozser, your portfolio manager here. I am just back from my New York conference that I go to every year that was not in New York this year, but that's okay. So I thought I would entertain you for a few minutes about the US election because it was a hot topic and we have the election coming up in approximately 2 weeks. Now for Canadians, you would think it gets so much coverage on this election that you would think it's our own election, but for us what's really important is how it could affect our portfolios, because it doesn't affect us in any other way directly. I mean, it can't affect us for healthcare, it doesn't affect us for tax. So let's just look at our portfolios. I'm going to ignore the Republicans because if we get a Republican win, I would expect it would be essentially more of the same. So let's talk about the Democrats. Now, with the Democrats, like the Republicans, they are agreeing to spend money. They're just agreeing to spend more money. And there's some concern that they're going to use COVID as an excuse to spend money on what their political platforms are. But okay, I don't know that any government doesn't do that. But there's also some concern that they're going to do some things that are bad for the stock market, such as increase taxes on corporations and make things more restrictive. But there's consensus that they won't do that right away. They need to wait for the economy to stabilize. So that might show up in the second or third year. So I'm not going to spend too much time thinking about that. So let's think about the actual election itself. Who's going to win? I'm going to tell you, I have no idea. If you look at the polls today, it looks like it could be what they call a Democratic wave. Having said that, apparently 12% of voters don't admit that they vote Republican. So I don't know if you can believe those polls. So that's comment number, there's a comment on that. And another comment is that if I were a strategist for the Democrats, I wouldn't actually tell the Democratic public or the voting public that we're a shoo-in to win, because the most important thing in the US election has always been how to mobilize voters. And some of these voters might not come out. And that brings me to my third point, which is a ridiculous point, if you can believe it, which is the weather. Apparently, Republicans will vote even if there's a tornado, but Democrats only like to vote if it's sunny. So mobilizing your voters is going to be a big deal. And that brings me back to my first point, which is I have no idea who's going to win. What I do believe is that no matter which party wins, the other party is going to contest it. They're going to say we didn't get to count the mail-in ballots. They're going to say we shouldn't count the mail-in ballots. They're going to have reasons I haven't even thought of yet. So I don't believe on election day we're going to know who the new president is. I believe there's going to be a lag. That's some uncertainty in the stock market. It's going to create some volatility. Is it going to create an unmanageable amount of volatility? No. Because remember, presidents get too much credit and too much blame for the stock market. What we do is we look at the companies. So we are aware of what's happening, but it's the companies that you have to keep going back to. And that's why I look at the election as an entertainment. I'm aware of it. I don't know what's going to happen. I know it's 2 weeks we have to live through, maybe a little bit longer. But the companies that we're holding on to or invest in, that's what makes creates the quality of your portfolio. So enjoy the election or don't enjoy it, and call me if you have any questions. Thank you.